Chapter 6! Super Duper High School Unluckster, or How I Learned to Stop Despairing and Embrace the End. That's a very long title, and I hope that's shorter in Japanese, but again, that's a really long title. Beyond the door was a space, like a shaft, like a tunnel turned on its side, or maybe a large chimney. My eyes traced a path along the ladder on the wall. I felt like I was at the bottom of a bottomless pit. I took hold of the ladder first and began my ascent, and Kitty Kitty followed after me. Oh, I'm afraid of falling and being trapped. So both being in his situation and having to climb that, I would be scared as hell. We climbed, then we climbed, then we climbed, unable to see our destination. After some time, we lost sight of our point of origin. I had no idea how we were this far down. Watch your step, I won't be able to catch you if you fall. Yeah, but seriously, like, if we fell this far, how did we survive? Yeah, I'll be careful. Of course, now that I'm actually thinking about it, maybe we should try talking about something to take my mind off it. Oh, hey Kitty Kitty, there's something I wanted to ask you. You're the Super Duper High School sleuth, right? How long have you been a detective? How long? I've always been one, ever since I was a child. Since the old days when detective work was considered far more venerable than it is today. The Kitty Kitty family has made it its livelihood as detectives. Oh yeah, her first name's Kyoko. Right. Yeah. Then your family's pretty famous, isn't it? Actually, quite the opposite. We're relatively unknown, even among others in the same line of work. But why, if you've got such a strong family tradition? We pride ourselves in it. Pride? Detectives represent neither light nor dark. It's precisely because we're neither good nor evil that we're able to find the one truth. We are obligated to maintain neutrality, so for that reason we must separate ourselves from the world. Thus we deliberately keep our existence hidden away. You keep hidden? It's an obsolete, old-fashioned, illogical way of thinking, but despite that we still abide by it. After all, it's our pride. Pride. Ah, I think I get it. The reason I couldn't find anything about her in the new students at Kibagamine Academy thread was because she kept the information hidden to upload her family's pride. Uphold, not upload. But I trampled on that pride. What? I sold myself out to the Kibagamine Academy so I would be selected for admission, knowing full well that my actions were unworthy of a Kitty Kitty family detective. She went so far as to trample over her family's pride so she could enroll in Kibagamine Academy, and she wanted to do that because... You're really looking forward to meeting your dad, weren't you? I can't blame you. Looking forward to it? I have absolutely nothing to look forward to in a reunion with my father. Huh? But you haven't seen your dad in so long. Surely there's a bunch of stuff you want to talk about. I have nothing to talk to him about. But I do have something to tell him. You want to tell him something? There's something I absolutely want to tell that man. To meet with him directly and tell him to his face. And what's that? That I'm cutting off all our ties. That he's no longer my father. No longer her father. The last time I saw that man, I was still a child. So I don't know a lot about him, other than he was apparently very intelligent. The Kitty Kitty family had high hopes for the future, with him as the next family head. But he had hated being a detective. So he withdrew himself from the Kitty Kitty family. And when my mother died, he used that as an excuse to run away from home. What? What? Sorry guys, I'm just getting a lot of emails on my phone. I should turn that off. He had a big fight with my grandfather, the head, and then he left, leaving me, still young, behind. I'm sure he had a good reason. I bet your dad really wanted to bring you with him. In that case, I should be thankful. Thankful that he left me behind. Unlike that man, I actually take pride in my work as a detective. I take pride in the Kitty Kitty family. I'm grateful from the bottom of my heart that he did take me with him. Had he by some chance actually taken me with him, I would not have been able to become a detective. Climbing the ladder ahead of her, I was unable to see Kitty Kitty's face, so I had no idea what kind of expression, what kind of emotion her face bore. As she said those words, all I could tell was that, as compared to usual, she was speaking more freely, and perhaps more brazenly. I have no intention of blaming that man. His life is his to live, and I'm sure it sounds like I'm being dismissive, but that's honestly how I feel. There's just one thing I can never forgive him for. And what's that? The way people looked at me. I felt no sorrow at having been left behind. Rather, I thought I was better off for it. But people didn't see me like that. I was always thought as the girl who was abandoned by her father. And that's how they all looked at me. I'm sick and tired of it. I'm fed up with having my past, that man's shadow, always hanging over me. I wanted to cut him out of my life, once and for all. That's why I have to tell him to his face, that I'm cutting all ties. so I can clear the book on our past, so I can remove that man from my life. Of course, he's probably forgotten about me. He's probably forgotten all about me by now. Oops. But your family, isn't severing relations a bit much? He and I simply share the same blood, nothing more. We may be connected by our blood, but our hearts are disconnected. Can you really call that family? They're connected by blood, but their hearts are disconnected. She had to be so sure, so firm in saying that, I couldn't think of any way to respond. So I could do nothing but keep my mouth shut. Yay! Being private. To continue climbing in silence. After some time, we finally arrived. Finally out? Wow. Sorry about that, guys. It looks like this is the end. Kibugamine Academy is on the other side of that door. We've returned. You remember the door on the dormitory's trash? Remember the door on the dormitory's trash room floor? That should be where we come out. I unlocked the door ahead of time, so there shouldn't be any problems opening it. I'll give it a shot. Press my right hand against the door above my head, and I pushed. With little resistance, the door opened. Then, freedom! Sorry about that. We've returned. That was an unbelievably long ladder. I'm exhausted. Somehow we made it back. Whether you could say we were unharmed was another issue altogether. But here we were, Kibugamine Academy. Thank you. Oh my God! Text. Thank you, Kirigiri. You saved my life. You don't need to thank me. I was just repaying the favor. Okay, dokie. Okay, so do I talk to you again? So, what do we do from here? I managed to dodge one bullet. Well, that's great and all, but if the Puppet Master finds me, it's not just me who's in danger, but you too, since you saved me. Are you worried? Well, yeah! Then how about we ask him directly? Him? Monokuma, ask him whether your escaping is a problem or not. But it's just a matter of time before you're found out, and it's not like there's anywhere to run anyway. As she spoke, Kirigiri pointed at the security camera. So you're saying if my only option is to wait to be caught, that I'm better off just surrendering? Don't worry, things won't end up the way you're afraid they will. After all, it's the Puppet Master who's been driven into a corner, not us. The Puppet Master has been driven to a corner. You said that before, but what do you mean? By holding Monokuma Ikosaba's class trial, the Puppet Master revealed his hand. And that's something we can take advantage of. Something we can take advantage of. Sorry. It's weird. I got a lot of sleep today. You'll see when we talk to Monokuma. Also, it's to our benefit to act first, before you're discovered. We want any advantage we can get for this negotiation. I'm more than a little bit nervous, but we've got no choice, do we? Monokuma should be in the gymnasium. Let's go, shall we? Why not? Yeah! Oh, it's nighttime. Sorry, my camera seems to be covering where it says the chapter and the time, so I'm just gonna tell you right now it's nighttime. Oh, what am I doing? Map. Teleport. I keep forgetting I could do that. My bad. Wait. Wrong way. Mobby! Getting all turned around in this place. So we're going in. Yeah. We're challenging our fate. Anyone play Fire Emblem out there? Awakening. I only played Awakening. I'm sorry if anyone gets offended by that. Well. Wait. Well. I get Kirigiri. But why it should have been executed has been Nagi here with you. Can't say I didn't see that reaction coming. Am I really going to be okay? Should perhaps save him? After all the trouble I went through preparing his punishment. And what if I did? If the villain is correctly identified during the class trial, he alone will be punished. I'm sorry to say it, but those are the rules. So I'll have to punish you again, and this time make sure it works. Kirigiri, if that's what you want to do, go right ahead. What? Before you do, just let me say one thing. If you execute Nagi, then you lose. Are you okay with that? Huh? Me? Lose? Hey, what's that supposed to mean? That class trial was a big setup, wasn't it? So you could smoke me out and kill me. In other words, had things go according to plan, it would have been me executed there. Hold on, what are you saying? But your expectations were blown way off track because Nagi let my lies slip through unnoticed. You didn't see that coming. It didn't even cross. What the hell? It didn't even cross your mind in that situation someone would stand up for someone else. And your response to that unexpected turn of events was to call Nagi the villain and execute him. You were desperate. No, it was more than desperation. You felt threatened by Nagi because he doesn't do what you expect him to do. But that wasn't the only surprise waiting for the class trial. Someone interfered with Nagi's execution. Alter ego. You miscalculated. You didn't consider that someone who was already dead would save someone else. And that is the truth. Boom! It wasn't Nagi who murdered Ikusaba, it was you. And yet, for you to execute Nagi in spite of that, isn't that a violation of the rules you so adore? Correct me if I'm wrong, but the villain is only supposed to be executed if he's identified correctly. And that means I lose. Let me get this straight. Are you saying the real villain is me, not Nagi? Then where's your evidence? I don't have any. She doesn't sugarcoat it. What the fuck? Is this your idea of a joke? How can you talk like a big shot and not even have any evidence to back it up? I don't have any now, but with a little more time, I'll be able to find everything I need. As much as you might try to hide it, there's only one truth. Oops! Oh, I didn't read that. I'm so sorry. If Nagi really did kill her, then it wouldn't have come to you. Then he wouldn't have come to you like this. He'd have gone into hiding, trembling under the weight of his sins, cowering in fear of his punishment, rotting away in your precious despair. But we're here, standing up to you. We haven't lost hope. You're trying to say that counts as in place of evidence? You think that's enough to satisfy me? You're right, that wouldn't satisfy you, but it's the same for people watching this. Executing Nagi now will not satisfy them. What? If you execute Nagi now, this is what the people watching will think. I think that you forcibly executed Nagi because everything we said was right. They'll think that hope cannot be killed with despair. Grrr! If your stance is what we're saying is this. Oh god, I was holding the mic. Oops, sorry. I'll read that again. If your stance is what we're saying is baseless, then you have to prove it, right? No, you had no choice but to prove it. Because if you execute Nagi with it while his guilt is still in question, then you're admitting defeat. Grrr. If you want us to experience despair fairly and impartially, then you'll accept my proposition. You must accept it. You must. Oh. Is that. So, what is it? This proposition of yours. We retry Mukuru Yukosaba's murder case. And that, this time, you'll hold a fair class trial, abiding by the school rules. Let this be our final battle, between hope and despair. Pretty fitting for a climax, don't you think? A fair class trial, the final battle, in other words. A trial to reveal the Puppet Master's identity. But the Puppet Master has no reason to accept a challenge like that. Surely he'll just get rid of me, no questions asked. What is he gonna say? Intriguing. Very intriguing. Oh no, he made a bear pun. Barry? I'm trying out a new personality. I couldn't bear the old one any longer. Who are you? Teddy? By the way, anyone who played Persona 4, you know what I'm talking about. Who are you, Teddy? Only Teddy is allowed to make bear puns. He's the only one I accept to make bear puns. Anyways, it's not a bear. Oh, no. It's not a very bad idea. It's a pretty fitting climax, I'll give you that. So you accept? If I do, will that satisfy you a lot and the viewers? And when you're satisfied, will you despair for me? If you will, then honey, show me where to Earth sign. Really? Will you, Lot, and your hope win out, or will me and my despair take the crown? A veritable final battle, a real Kodiak moment. Really? He accepted? Then that means there's still a chance. However, since this is the climax, it would be pretty boring if all you have to do is find the culprit. So make it befitting of a final climax, you lot need to bear all of the mysteries. All of the mysteries? Every single mystery buried in the academy. If you manage to solve all of them, then I'll call you Lot's victory. That's what I was planning on doing from the very beginning. Then that takes care of that. If you lot can uncover Mukuru Yukosaba's murderer, how the crime was committed, and on top of that, solve all the academy's mysteries, then I'll admit defeat. But when the polar opposite happens, he'll be executed, right? I can barely contain my excitement. And another bear pun. When you learn the grisly truth, just what kind of despair will you lot show me? We're the ones who should be excited. When we reveal everything, just how much despair will the super duper high school despair be in? I feel like I just witnessed the start of something outrageous. But first, I'd like to clarify something. You said before The class shots are held when murders are committed among the students, right? What of it? I'd like to confirm that there are no inaccuracies in that statement. There are no need to try to pry it out of me. I'm an approachable kind of bear. Everything that's happened has been in accordance with the school rules. My bad, guys. Sorry. Kuriko-saba's class trial is no exception. Huh? Kuriko-saba's class trial is no exception. It was held in accordance with the school rules. Then that means the person who killed her... Actually, while we're at it, I'll give you one more hint. I'm sure I've mentioned this before, but there are a total of 60 participants, all of whom are students in this academic coliseum. And since the coliseum commenced operation, the only living humans set from the academy are those very same 16 students. What? Is that the truth? Why the silent treatment all of a sudden? Oh, he's laughing. The conversation's over. I ain't got nothing left to talk to you guys about. Now scram. Now he's angry. Maybe he has borderline personality disorder. Shut up and get lost. Alright, we're going. We're going. Are you sure I can go? Whatevs. Doesn't matter. Y'all gonna get punished later either way. So I'm gonna prepare something very special. Very despairingly special for you guys. You're laughing. Laughing. I'm not gonna do the oop-poo-poo. Let's go, Nagi. Okay. Okay. With our backs turned to Monokuma's creepy, unstable laughter, Kirigiri and I left the gym.